I actually failed out of college, you know, went to HCC, got a 2-year degree, worked on newspaper there, and it just fell into this and got really, really lucky. I have this thing with journalism. Like, we come into people's lives, we ask all these questions. Like, we think we're the smartest person in the room, and then we leave people's lives. Like, we write this story, we think we're so smart. You know, we really have to be interested in bringing their stories out, putting the microphone in their face so that their message can be amplified. And yeah, I think the word is human. The AI doesn't go out and eat donuts. The AI doesn't go out and drop ketchup on their shirt or have 8 beers at Late Start with the best burger in the world at Mighty Find, right? The AI just can't do that. I tell our people all the time, you are a human that's interested and curious in things. Express that in your writing, because an AI will never, ever, ever, ever be able to do that.
Bartending for years, working freelance gigs, covering mosh pits, covering city council meetings, and now a part owner in Creative Loafing, probably one of the most fun rags, as the industry likes to say, in the Tampa Bay area. We are so pleased to welcome Ray Roa here today from Creative Loafing. How are you doing, Ray?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for calling it a rag. You know, a lot of people are like scared to call it all these things, like fish wrap, rag, birdcage lining. Like, we were trying to figure out names for like beers that we're doing, and we're like, is there like a play on rag we can do? Like, I don't know, it's kind of gross. I don't know, but like, yeah, man, like, I use it for stuff like that. Yeah. So yeah.
I think I learned that term. It was probably one of my first professional bosses about 25 plus years ago. Now I'm getting old now.
Yeah.
And that's like, oh, pick up the rag. And it was a Creative Loafing, or it was a something from the USF campus, the Oracle, I think, or something else. And she's like, get the local rags.
That's it. That's what I do. I'd land in any town. I pick up the alt-weekly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So people used to call us the commie rag back in the day. So yeah.
So tell us a little bit about your background, man. You didn't set out to be the owner of a large paper. You set out to have fun, cover bands, get your reporting done, the typical creative route.
I think you hit it on the head, and I didn't have this in the cards, you know, like own the newspaper I work at. I definitely read this paper like since I was a teenager. I bartended a lot, worked in a lot of restaurants. Not a lot, actually. I worked in two restaurants. I'm like a loyal employee. Like, I'll stick around for a while, but I worked in them for a really long time. A lot of 1099s, a lot of freelancing. And then, you know, it turns into, I worked at Gasparilla Music Festival for a while, music blogs, Suburban Apologist, Reacts, Consequence of Sound, all local stuff, Creative Loafing, Tampa Bay Times. And then it just, you know, spiraled into this. I actually failed out of college, you know, went to HCC, got a 2-year degree, worked on newspaper there. And it just fell into this and got really, really lucky. I landed my dream job in 2016. I would have been 31 years old, music editor at Creative Loafing, you know? So.
Wow. Yeah. And for the audience here, I actually had to kick out one of my team members because they were going on and on about local bands, national bands, who's showing up. It was really kind of funny to hear that. But I said, you know, we got to get this recording done. Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. I could talk about music all day. I always said, like, we don't have a music editor position anymore. But I was like, if we brought it back, would I have to fire myself first? Or like, how does that work? You know? So I would definitely go back to that. But I enjoy doing what I'm doing now a whole bunch.
So a lot of our journalists come from out of town, you know, and that's just normal.
Sure.
It's very, very common in all types of media, print or video, to move around to whatever assignment or station's available, right?
Yep.
You're a Jesuit high grad.
I did graduate from Jesuit, yeah.
You're from Tampa. How does that feel, seeing the community over the last few decades? And you're one of the real locals here.
Yeah, I went to Booker T. Washington before that. Baycrest, downtown and country before that. So I've lived here since I was 11. So it was like 30 years. And yeah, it has changed a lot. And I think when you're here for so long, you don't realize it. It's like the frog in a boiling pot of water kind of thing. You know, you don't notice it, but after a while, you can kind of take a step back. Like today, I'll take the trolley from our office here in downtown Tampa and go down to Ybor, and you roll through Water Street and you think of places like, I think it was Nukes and Andrew Chuck's. That was down there, and just the fields that were there was nothing, you know, and there it is. So, yeah, a lot of stuff's changed. I stopped saying for better or worse. I say for better and worse, right? It's like both things are happening, but we're here. I wake up every day and get to cover it, so.
Awesome. So I actually have a background in hospitality myself.
Okay.
Okay.
I loved it. I
Yeah.
think everybody should work in hospitality.
And I had a high school teacher that said everybody should be in hospitality or retail. I actually have been in both. In retail, you never lived until you had to fold clothes after back to school season. And in retail, in hospitality, I wasn't actually at the fryer, but I was the guy that sometimes would have to stand above the fryer to fix the bump bar or the monitor.
Oh,
so
man.
that kind of crazy stuff. But what it did teach me is a way somebody wants to be treated or creating an experience.
Sure.
Now, you spent more than 8 years behind the bar, and you have to have a million stories. How do you feel like that time behind the bar really affected your professional career?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. So I bartended at Gallery Bistro. It's now where like Doc B's is, I think. Doc B's International Plaza. Does that make sense? That restaurant's there now. And then I was bartending at Bellows for a little bit. Joined Larry Heisel was the bar manager, the legendary Larry Heisel. I think he's still at Hat Tricks. So you just meet people. I mean, that's what hospitality is, right? You definitely figuring out how to get them through a meal. Make sure you're taking care of everything that they need to get taken care of. But you're just meeting somebody at a time when they want to sit down and they want to relax. And there's all kinds of different people and they have different needs. And I don't know, man, I just love talking to people. And then you get to see the same people every day a lot of times. And, you know, you see people grow and you see them out and about. Like, I'm not the only townie around here, right? There's tons of people that also never left. And they come to your bar, especially Bella's, right? And you see them out and about town. And it's really cool.
And how do you think that helped you transition into journalism? That's a kind of a big difference. Most bartenders aren't exactly keen on the written word. They're not going to put out essays or articles or exposés, and that's literally your job.
Yeah, I think I always was writing, like always journaled even before I got to high school. But then we got to high school, I remember junior year specifically, Robert Wiener was my English teacher. We journaled every day in school. And then, you know, you figure out, oh, hey, I want to write about music. I was going to so many concerts that it was like it was making me broke. And my girlfriend and my wife, fiance, she's like, you got to figure something out, you know? And I was doing newspaper at school at HCC and then cold emailed somebody and I was like, hey, I want to write about music. Figured that out. That turns into this. And then it's just natural reporting. I'm very curious. I never want to leave a party. Like, it's impossible for me to leave. I just want to talk to everybody. And I think that's like that's the thing that everybody needs to bring to a newsroom, right? Curiosity. If you want to solve a problem or get down to something, figure that out. Like find the way to do that. So you have to be curious, right? I'm very interested in the person in front of me. Like, just sitting here with you, there's been like 10 questions that have run through my head, you know, that I would ask you, you know?
So, and I bet that really helped because you're trying to get the best answers out of somebody else. As the writer in a news outlet, it's not about you. It has nothing to do about you. If you write the article properly, they don't even really think about the author, right?
Sure.
They want to know about the subject. And you already learned how to interview somebody at the bar.
That's true. I mean, you do talk to people and you learn what not to say. Like, I think that's something I'm not great at. I'm a pretty unfiltered person. I'll kind of ask people about anything, but you kind of learn those limitations and how to navigate a conversation. And you're right. It's like, you know, not only are you trying to get something out of somebody, but you have to remove like I have this thing with journalism. Like, we come into people's lives, we ask all these questions. Like, we think we're the smartest person in the room, and then we leave people's lives. Like, we write this story, we think we're so smart, and then we leave and we leave them alone. So it's like, you know, we really have to be interested in bringing their stories out, maybe putting the microphone in their face so that their message can be amplified. And you really do have to try to remove yourself from that equation, I think.
And so it's such an interesting career you're in media, especially print media.
Yeah.
So print media has been declared dead multiple times.
It's crazy. I don't know why they say that.
I know. It is still around. Maybe it's not in your mailbox every day like it used to be. I'm sure when you were growing up, your parents probably got a paper. My parents got a paper. But now it's not as focused on distribution of print.
Sure.
It's a little more focused on digital impact. So how is Creative Loafing doing it differently?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you mentioned the newspaper, I really remember reading the Tampa Tribune all the time. Like, I can feel the bag in different degrees of moisture. Like, if it rained, it had the gross water on it. We read the Trib. It was on our table. And yeah, I mean, Creative Loafing is really unique. Like, paper, definitely, the paper and the people are the most expensive things that we have, right? The paper is expensive. You know this in your industry. Like, you guys are dealing with fluctuating costs of everything. So are we. Like, it affects everything. So it is expensive, but I think there's something really special about holding something, right? Especially right now. And, people are going to see this on the internet, and we'll be lucky if we can be a bright spot in somebody's internet experience. Oftentimes it's so toxic and there's just not bad stuff, but it's just not always the most fun place to be. Yeah, we're addicted to it. We're always on it. So as the world moves to more analog stuff, I think a paper like Creative Loafing has a role there, right? We have listings of things you're guaranteed to be able to do, kind of gets you out of like the weird AI slop listings. And here's a person curating what they think is great for you. And then also we can put people on the cover of this magazine who create art locally, whose parents or whoever may not have really seen what they do as a legitimate thing. And here they are, somebody's listening to them, talking about their art, talking about all this stuff. And it really does lift them up. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people and they're like, my mom saw this, never really, thought about what I do. And now here they are. And like, I just love the record if we're talking about music, right? So I just love the record you made. I just want to talk about it. So I think that's why Creative Loafing's been able to do it. We have, an ad side of people designing really interesting ads. Our guys are really cool. And James and Anthony are our two main sales guys who are also co-owners of the paper. Just love it. Like I love picking that thing up. I love working with our designers to do it. And for as long as we can do it, we're going to keep doing it. So,
and I share the sentiment with you when I go into a new town or even here, I don't look at Creative Loafing online too often, but when I see it in a newsstand, I pick it up, I sit at my desk and I open it up, and I like that tactile sense. I like grabbing a pen and circling something I want somebody to read. Just stuff you can't quite get the feel of online.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
Still read it online, still read other news outlets online, but those local rags, newspapers,
dude, they're
it's
the
a
best.
great feeling to be in Dallas or Atlanta or something else. Just pick up a paper that you've never heard of before and see what cool stuff's going on. The best parties are in there. The best restaurants are in there. The best local whatever is always in there.
And it's local people writing it, right? It's like the person that's also so hyped about or interested in this bodega bus that's opening down the street. Like, what the heck is in here? It's a vape shop and there's chopped cheese. You know what I mean? Like somebody who lives here, interested in the neighborhood that you're visiting, so whether you're visiting it or you live or you work here, like we're all here together and we're writing about that thing just in this little lane here. So it's like, it's awesome, man.
Yeah. And you talk about media and you talk about your ownership, but a lot of media is actually owned together, right? It's
correct.
Large companies are gobbling up, large news networks might gobble up 50, 100, 300 prints. Creative Loafing wasn't immune to that. At one point, you were owned by multiple different firms in different cities, and then you guys took it over and you brought it back to Tampa with people actually living here. Your ownership lives here.
We do, yes.
How does it feel and how does that change the look and feel of the paper by knowing that this is a Tampa paper and Tampa people own it?
Yeah, I mean, on a personal level, I can't blame anybody else for the things that I'm complaining about anymore, right? You don't have like this corporate entity to kind of scapegoat.
Listen to that, kids. Responsibility sucks when you grow up.
No, and it's a good responsibility. We're not a huge company, right? We have 4 employees that own it together with 2 new partners. We have 1 employee on editorial now, Celine Sanfelice, 2 in creative services. And sales. So it's like we're small. We live here. The things that we write about are outside of our door. So there's accountability there. And I think that matters. Like, nobody's and a big thing, to be frank, a certain amount of money is not getting shipped out of our area anymore. Right? Like to sustain a corporate entity. And we didn't have an evil corporate overlord or anything. But it's like to bring all of that in-house now, and like you said, like these companies are getting big, even if they're not that big. They're bigger than one. They're having to move in a way that is fiscally and fiduciary. Is that the word?
Fiduciary responsibility.
To all these people that work there. And it's like when we're small, we can make those decisions and they're ours and we can try to run things the way that, we think they need to be run. So it's great. I mean, I love being a local. It's crazy, man. I'm a local business owner.
You're
right?
a local business owner. Wow.
Yeah.
It's all that. And so the audience knows he didn't have this gray hair until a few months ago.
Oh, no,
I've
been going gray since I was 16. Yeah.
So we talked about this with a lot of our guests.
Okay.
Tampa is one of the most popular markets in the country. People are moving here all the time. We have the millennials moving for work opportunities and starting families. We have retirees and boomers moving here to be in the sunset years in comfort. Tampa's expanded rapidly. You've seen it firsthand. I'm local here. You're local here. We've seen it. What are we at risk of losing by getting so big too fast?
Yeah, I mean, I just think about my street in Tampa Heights, two of my immediate neighbors. One's been there for like 40 years. Another one's like 30-something years. They used to be able to see the ships come in off the water over here in the port. And it's like, if they're getting priced out, all of that, like history and the storytelling and that connection, you lose that. And I love getting new neighbors, right? I love new development, and I love that. I love people from out of town. But when you don't have that connection to the place that you live, I feel like you're less inclined to stand up for it when it needs a protector or an advocate. You don't tell stories about that place. I mean, walk around downtown. I can walk by a parking lot and tell you a story about how I'm so ticked off that it used to be this huge like department store or a theater, and now it's a parking lot. Or hey, you know why this building is crumbling over here? Oh, they're trying to save this building over here. When you don't have that connection to a place, I don't want to say you lose its identity, because everybody's changing all the time, right? We're all evolving all the time. But then, I mean, what do you have? You just have like a bunch of transplants who aren't connected to this place. That's why I love meeting new people who move here who really want to learn about the town, right? And I hope that's what we provide people. I also I always joke with our people, I want you to write about this thing so well that if somebody's on a Tinder date, they can like totally explain this to their date and sound so smart about this like Bay Area thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't know when this airs, but this weekend there's this Preserve the Berg Expo happening, and they're going to talk about their community. Like if we can put people in front of those things and connect people, whether I always say natives or noobs, right? If we can put and connect them with where they live, then we are doing our job every day. So that's what we lose when those people go. It is sad to watch people have to leave, like because they've been priced out. I don't know that I have the answer to that. I don't want everybody living in the exurbs. I want to find a way to keep them here, but I think that's what we lose.
Okay. You talked about local stories, and that's pretty cool. I mean, I've fancy myself a storyteller, and I know how important it is to have a good narrative or to communicate history.
Sure.
Well, creative loafing is famous for covering these small things, but especially the arts.
Sure.
The music scene, the art scene, small, sometimes really off, left, right, kind of weird stuff. But you pride yourself in giving that a voice.
Sure.
So how do you think creative loafing is helping like the art community and the local small businesses?
Yeah, I mean, I think the times when I feel like we fall short is when I can't cover something, like I'm like, oh, I just can't get to it. Like those are the things that are really important. I'll use this example. This fall in St. Petersburg, an artist named Jake Troyley will do a solo show at the Museum of Fine Arts. Jake Troyley is somebody who's a product of the Pinellas High School system, went to USF for art school. When we first started writing about Jake, he was doing art shows at the Benz, which is a bar in St. Petersburg. I forget exactly which road it's on, but I mean, you're talking about somebody who's doing bar art shows, now is fully represented, has shows across the globe, sells art across the globe, and is going to do a full solo, make some of the most contemporary and important American contemporary art today. And that's the stuff we want to do, whether it's in theater, whether it's in the music scene, whether it's in bookstores, all that stuff. We always want to put a microphone in front of somebody who traditionally doesn't have a microphone in front of them. So,
and that's a really cool story. Do you find, or have you found other people that you think deserve a national spotlight, but they've kind of kept their little local feel? An artist, a band, a restaurant, particular drink recipes, just something that really stands out in the community that deserves a highlight.
Yeah, I think there's tons of stuff like that. Somebody asked me about Supernatural the other day. Like, why do people love it so much? Or what do you think is so cool about it? And, I think about Supernatural, of course, is this sandwich and donut shop in downtown Tampa, formerly known as No Jackson. It was on the ropes, right? It was going to close because they weren't making enough money up until Alton Brown came in and really said he had the best breakfast sandwich ever. there, and it blew up. And I told the person to ask me, like, there are still people in town who have the audacity to do things exactly how they think they should be done according to them and to their vision. And those are the people that I love highlighting, right? They don't give in to trends or whatever. They just have a way of doing things. Maybe they don't want their company to get so big, so they leave a restaurant group and they start their own little thing, down the street. Like those are the things. Like these are the people that live here, that want to make an impact here and just love their neighbors. So that's what we're trying to highlight.
So being a member of the press, it's kind of hard. It makes you sound really adult, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So being a member of the press, you've had the opportunity to speak with many politicians in all different levels.
Sure.
Many different celebrities, many different artists, a slew of people. Do you have a particular favorite that comes to mind that you got to talk to?
I'm like a goldfish. I don't have like this great long memory of stuff. You're right. Like, because I've been doing this for so long, I've talked with so many people and met a lot of people. So I don't know if I could pick one. I can think of a few blunders that I've made, misquoting Santana.
That's a blunder.
It was bad. If you ever dig that one up, like people will be like, oh my God. So that was one that was fun, but yeah, it is great to just talk to people. And, I asked Andrew Gillum, Andrew Gillum was on the verge of becoming the governor, when I spoke to him. I think he only lost by, I don't remember that margin. It was
very, very small.
Razor thin.
Yeah.
Of like, met Taylor Swift because like I was a big fan of her manager or her of Tree Payne, her publicist, and we just talked about like 9 Inch Nails and David Bowie, so it's like my life has been, I don't know what the word is. I mean, I just have the best life, and it's because of the alt-weekly, right? We're such a unique and interesting paper, and we write about such a wide breadth of things. And at the same time, I've been able to like hang out at people's houses and talk to them about their life or their business or their issue, their problem, like, politicians and all that stuff. It's great. Tampa is just Tampa alone. Not even counting Pinellas. So many stories here, and I'm able to like chase those down. So I don't know. I feel like I didn't answer your question that well, but
no, I think that's fantastic.
Okay.
You celebrity name drop. That's exactly what we wanted.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because Taylor Swift might want to come on the show now. I doubt it. She's got bigger things to do.
I'm pretty sure.
But you never know. You never know.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. It's like, and like, a lot of people like give me crap for, being a Taylor Swift fan, but it's like, dude, I've seen Taylor Swift. I've seen her on 3 different tours. I saw the Eras tour like 3 times, and to be around like that kind of fan base and to see that, like the impact that somebody has is really neat. Like, are concerts too expensive? Yeah, sure, man. But like to be around that because of my job is crazy. Or to have the opportunity to make a difference in somebody's life, or feel like, we just published a story out of City Hall. A lot of people felt like they weren't getting heard, and we wrote about that. And hopefully people, in City Hall feel like we have their backs too, and they can give us a call on that anonymous number and give us a tip, because powerful people should be held to account, and we can do that too. So it's crazy. I mean, this publication we just write about all kinds of crazy stuff, and it's really great.
So I always bring up AI in a conversation.
Sure.
It seems to impact everything. But your space especially. Because the newest generation, my son's generation, my son's almost 17.
Okay.
And they don't even know to believe if it's a human writing or if it's AI. Some of them can spot AI from a mile away.
Sure.
Too many bold words or emojis everywhere. But people are just putting up blogs that are completely AI written all the time. Everybody's guilty of it. How do you think that's affecting your medium? I mean, if print media is already having a harder time,
Sure.
Now you've got this computer box that can write your entire paper in 15 minutes every week.
Yeah.
But how does that affect you? I mean, you got to do something to keep your authenticity, to keep it human.
Yeah, I think the word is human, right? The things that you're talking about, what we do, first off, now I'm like, hey, all your typos, guys, that's proof that you're a person. Embrace the typo. Now, I was pretty upset when I found out that AI likes to use the M dash, because I love an M dash too. But think about this, just this building, right? I've written stories about this building because there's a recording studio in here, and there's a great bass player named Rugod who works frequently in that studio, and he had the comedian Hannibal Buress on to do like rap music here when Hannibal was like rolling through or maybe flew in, right? Like an AI can't possibly know that. But now when I write about Tomco, I could say in the same building as, and granted, am I teaching the AI when I write that?
Yeah.
Sure, maybe, but like the AI doesn't go out and eat donuts. The AI doesn't go out and drop ketchup on their shirt or like have 8 beers at Late Start with the best burger in the world at Mighty Fine, right? The AI just can't do that. So I tell our people all the time, like, you are a human that's interested and curious in things. Express that in your writing because an AI will never, ever, ever, ever be able to do that. And you are doing that every day. Like anybody that uses AI right now knows when it's hallucinating and knows what it's really not good at. Like, is it good at something? Is it good at spreadsheets? Is it good at maybe describing the way something looks? Sometimes, but there are so many times when AI falls short. I don't know that it's always going to be that way, but for right now, AI cannot, it doesn't come close to the human experience. And if we can help people write the things that they're experiencing and reporting in a way that's human on the page, then I don't think we're ever gonna have an issue. And God, AI writing sucks, man. It's like so weird and like hype, man. And it's just weird. It just like wants to make you happy all the time. And it's really weird.
You're
like
doing
you can
a great
really
job.
tell.
Well, my personnel
right?
review didn't say that. Why are you giving me all this encouragement? I need correction.
Dude, like one time I was like talking to the AI, I was like, stop telling me like my idea is good. I'm just asking you a question. You know what I mean? Like, and it's just so strange, right? It's because it wants you to use it.
Use a better command. Something start with like act like you're my ex-wife and give me.
Oh my God! Yeah, but it's
maybe
crazy.
It would give better critical advice.
It is wild. AI, because like I'll use it, right? Like I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, I'm anti-AI. Like you have to explore the tools that are available to you. Because if you don't understand the tools that other people are using, then how can you understand the world around you? But right now, it can't hold a candle to people, right? There's no way. Like even with like real estate stories, right? Like, you know, some places are writing real estate stories using AI, but then I have Colin Wolf in the office who can go through the MLS and the listings and property records and newspapers.com and write a really nuanced story about an interesting property that's for sale that an AI never could, because an AI is not right now reading newspapers.com or doesn't know that this street runs next to this one in this town and over here there was this event. You know what I mean? That's that knowledge that we kind of talked about earlier. So the AI will never have that, at least while we're alive.
It can't figure out that secret underground party where the banner
no way,
just pops up.
no way. It's never been like stoned off its ass off of like a blunt. You know what I mean? Like it just cannot. It cannot experience. It does not experience things. So how could it possibly accurately depict them in words and writing? You know.
So this interview is exceptionally fun, and because while you're not uncomfortable, you are never on this side of the interview.
This is true.
Ever.
I love when people ask me questions.
Yeah, and so that's great, because my next question is, in 15 years of asking questions,
Sure.
what do you wish somebody had asked you?
You know, man, I'm really lucky because I'm the boss at work. The people I work with are nice. They ask me how I'm doing. I think that's a really important question, but people ask me how I'm doing all the time. You know, I have a therapist who asks me how I'm doing, and my coworkers like care about me like as a person. So I don't know. I can't think of something that I wish somebody would have asked me, because I think I view conversation as like this open-ended thing. You know, do I wish sometimes I had longer time to talk with some people? Maybe, but it's like, I know that if I'm lucky, like I'll see them again or run into them again. So I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that, because I don't need anybody to ask me to anything. I just want them to be around and like engage in a genuine way, I think.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And you can feel the authenticity when you say that. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I love people, man. Like I think this is the second time I've ever met you in person.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I saw you on stage at Best of Bay. So this would be third, but we didn't talk then. But it's like, I'm just like interested in people and grateful for any kind of attention. I do like attention. You can ask my wife. I told her that. I was like, we have a very cute 6-year-old son. And she's like, why are you jealous of him? I was like, I need attention too. So
yeah, they're always going to be the favorite now. I hope you know.
Yeah.
He's always
I've
the
totally like accepted that. But I'm also like learning to like speak up and be like, hey,
There's a
Look at
brief
me.
teenage period where you'll be the favorite again.
Oh, really?
When he goes through puberty and nobody's going to want to like him in the family.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
it happens, but then it revolves back around where he's the favorite again.
Oh, he
You
already
like
told me he's not moving out. Like we're trying
yeah?
to buy like the lot, maybe see if to get our back neighbor to split their lot
Yeah.
so we can have like more yard. And he's like, so I was like, you can build a house for me back there, right? Is what he said. He's like, I'll never move. And I was like, okay.
It's cute now, and then 17 and 18, it's like, hey, son, when you moving out?
I don't know, man.
Hey, you got to get to college.
I'm curious about your 17-year-old. Like, what are that person's prospects in the world, right? Like, gosh, like, are they going to go to college? What is their degree still going to be good when they get out because of the advancements in technology and the general desire to replace people with machines because it's cost efficient, or you don't have to buy insurance or things like that. So I really like feel for really like younger people like coming into the world. It's not like it was for us.
Yeah, no, it's
right.
ve-
Like,
it's
for us, we
very
feel like we
different.
can hustle
But
and
didn't
make
like
it.
25 years ago, our parents' generation say the same thing? Oh, I
Say that
feel
about,
bad for
like,
these.
I used
We
to tell
say it all.
people, I'm never having a kid. The world's messed up. They're like, that's what I said during Nam, you know?
And now we're here.
That's
we're
right.
the older generation dispensing
right.
all this wisdom.
Oh, yeah, wisdom.
Wisdom.
It's debatable.
We call it wisdom. In this show, it's
That's
wisdom
right.
today.
Somebody put a mic in front of our face, so it's wisdom now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
All right, Ray, you answered the hard questions and you did a great job.
Okay.
We got a fun question now.
Okay.
So this is Tommy's Toolbox.
This is awesome.
Okay.
I've
and
never done anything like this
So
before.
I have a toolbox, of course, in green, my favorite color.
Okay.
That was what
Okay,
I
I
told
like
the
that.
producer. You had to do green. So we have questions in there. I don't even know what these questions are.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to open the box. You're going to pick out a piece of paper and you're going to hand it to me.
Okay.
And then I'm going to make you feel awkward and answer the question.
That's great.
Okay. You ready?
All right, I'm ready.
All right. Go for it.
There's also cans of soup or something in here. Price
That's
doesn't
a
fly
behind
away
the
or
scenes.
something.
That's movie magic
Okay.
to make sure it doesn't flip over.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. What food would you absolutely refuse to eat, even if somebody paid you $1,000?
One time I was in the Philippines. I'm Filipino.
Okay.
So that's where my family's from. But one of the recent times that we've been, there's a fruit called durian, which I'm sure you're familiar
heard of
with. It reeks. It's just the most disgusting thing.
Yeah.
And I remember some people in our family like trying to pay me to eat it. And I tried to eat it and I couldn't even get it down.
Wow.
So I would definitely say durian.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good answer. But I bet you have the recipes for the best lumpia.
Oh, yes, my mom. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite things about being Filipino and having a Filipino mom. People are always like, does your mom make lumpia? And I'm like, yes, and she will make you some.
Yeah, just let me know
Come
right over here.
Like we have
always
it. The
happy.
rice cooker's on. The rice is on.
There's always a rice
Like,
cooker in a
the
Filipino home. It's
dude,
amazing.
That's it, man. We have it. There's meat sitting on like the top of the stove, and it's been out for like 2 days, but we still eat it. You know what I mean? So like, yes, we do that. Yes.
I had a Filipino boss, and she would always bring food in. Oh my gosh, it's my first introduction. I was actually really young and working at USF, and she would bring that stuff in. I'm like, oh. I mean, this is big city food compared to my little upbringing in Kathleen.
Oh, Kathleen?
It was culture.
Okay.
I mean, growing up, I was so poor that I thought Taco Bell was true Mexican food. And I wouldn't eat it until I, moved out and figured out it is not Mexican food.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, you grew up in a city. I grew up in a little mobile home way out in the country.
Yeah,
Very,
yeah.
very different dynamic.
It is.
So
it is
I'm
different.
an adoptive Tampanian. Just been in this area for 25 years.
That's long
So
enough.
it's long enough. I've
long
seen it
enough.
all change. But yeah, that was one of my first real international flavors that I absolutely adore.
Yeah,
So,
everybody needs like a good Filipino.
Yeah,
in
so
their
you're gonna
life.
get an email or a text following up with that lumpia order. Okay.
I'll just bring some by next time.
That's awesome.
Like I bring some from what do we have? Oh, we just had Mother's Day, so whatever holidays next. Yeah.
Well, Ray, it has been fantastic having you here. Local publications are so important to our continued development. It's always important to get bigger and better, but keeping that local flair is something Creative Loafing really has a knack for. If you want to connect with Ray, check him out on LinkedIn or go to creativeloafing.com and check out all his latest stories. The cool thing about Ray is when you read about him, you can see a little bit about his personality in his work. This has been another episode of Tommy's Toolbox, the Leadership Edition, and make sure to like and subscribe. We'll see you next week.